Greetings, Judah. DFG here, Gideon's Flight. Hey guys, just took me a couple of days to want to review something that happened this past Sunday night. And it's again another crime against our people. Um, and this crime that was committed was a spiritual assault. I would even go as far as to say that it was a spiritual murder against our people. And just so you know where I'm going with this, I'm going to cut right to the chase. I'm talking about the Grammy Awards, the celebration of Hollywood, the celebration of the music industry. Quite frankly, the celebration of all that is spiritually evil in its roots. I'm going to say it just like that. Yeshua said we should judge a tree by its fruits, or we should judge the tree based off of the roots that's in that tree. Because a good fruit tree would not bear bad fruit. And so when you look at what those who watched it, I'm going to say we because I did not watch it, but as you watched that program, and as that program continued, then you began to see wickedness personified. But you also saw the assault or the murdering of the spiritual innocency of many of our children, and unfortunately, possibly many. Well, I'm just going to go back. What we saw was the innocence of our children spiritually assaulted, and in some cases, flat out murdered. And the demonic forces on this planet, those who are controlled, the seed of Satan. You can say just the Jewish ones who are up there, not us, not Israel or Judah. You can say just the Jewish, but then you miss the rest of his cohorts, including some of fallen Israel, the 2/3 that Yah is going to destroy. But when you see that the program that they put and they televise, and in this particular instance, I'm talking about, the performance of Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B, where they literally got in front of our children. Let me show you a couple of pictures here if you can see that. Okay, that's them standing there together. And as you see, that may be Beyonce in one of them. But that's not the biggest crime. Even though you notice there's no social distancing and masking. Just thought I'd put that out there. That's been pushed on all of us, but when it comes down to debauchery and wickedness and glorifying the occultic, idolatrous, paganistic society, the underworld, then it doesn't matter then. All of a sudden, they don't have to follow. But look at this. Can you see that? That's a big giant bed with two women performing spiritual sex on each other. Lesbianism. Right there. Oh, and add fuel to the fire. Here's another picture of them. Just so you see. And that's the only picture that I'm going to show you, and I would advise you to go look. But they were in a big giant bed with a big giant hooker shoe, and they were performing every kind of sexual, as the older folks used to say, gyration. But those gyrations really were seduction. Paul said in I think it was 2 Timothy, seducing spirits, doctrines of devils. The doctrines of devils, think about it, my brothers and sisters, it's not the word of Yah. Doctrines of devils is when they give media, press attention, glorification in their writings, their editorial reviews, all the views that's the doctrines of devils. In other words, the doctrines that the devils promote. That's what doctrines of devils are. That's a teaching point right there, just so you know. So when the book talks about doctrines of devils, it's simply saying, what is the world teaching? Because whatever the world is teaching, that is what you should be, as Judah and Israel, we should be extremely aware of what they're teaching. Why? To guard our hearts against those teachings, to protect our children against those teachings. Yet I would go forward to say that probably many kids were watching that warp, And you've heard me talk about that before. You know, I'm not even going to use the vulgarity in it, but you know, it's the wet, you know, AP. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And they did a whole big performance on it. And I mean, you had people, these devils with tattoos all in their face, you know, these, and I mean real Edomites, all just happy and just lustful. And they were like, oh man, look at them. And you know the crime in it? They used the face of Israel again to promote such wickedness. I mean, whenever you've seen a program, a nationally televised program, you know, to that kind of diabolatry, that type of abomination acts on a national Sunday night television program where it was someone else doing that, a whole group of people doing that. Or you know what I'm saying, a nation of people representing that. You haven't seen Esau or the whites or Magog, the Asians or the Eastern. You haven't seen any of them doing that. But they put our face on it again, just like they put our face on the gang and the crack culture in the 80s. They used the rap artists to create murder and mayhem in our communities. And now they're using these so-called female rap artists to make your daughters whores. To tell your daughters being whores is a good thing. They use their, cover your ears if you can't hear, use your pussy as an ATM machine. You know, if he wants to have your sex with you, then let him take his credit card and right across your pussy. And that way you can cash him out. Now that's a fact. It's vulgar, it's rude, it's ridiculous, but most important, my sisters and my brother, it is the truth. And it's time out for us to put soft, sweet words on evil and wickedness. Yeshua didn't teach us that. Yah definitely didn't teach us that. He said, you should know the truth. We speak the truth. We don't put no sugar on things and soft pedal our way through things that are trying to destroy our families, destroy the relationship between a male and a female, destroy the relationship between fathers and their sons and their mothers and their daughters. To make us, Judah, the face of wickedness throughout the whole planet. I mean, our sisters represent less than 4% of the world's population, and yet we are being promoted as whores. And some of you sisters, I'm saying this to you, that's why some of these Edomites, these Gentiles, these heathens, can just walk up on you and assault you. I'm talking about verbally assault you. Oh, you got a nice ass. Oh, I like to get between your legs. Oh, you know, can I take you out, for lunch? Meaning, can I give you a few extra dollars so I could, experience, your WAP, your WAP. And you look up on these people and you begin to wonder, why are they coming at me like that? What am I doing to bring that upon myself? Well, Yah said it is the curse upon our people. And you saw a clear example of a curse being demonstrated from the whole world, in front of the whole world. You saw that the other night. There was nothing glorified about that. That was not something good, my brothers and sisters. You have to, Judah, get this in your mind. We're the only people who would call evil good and good evil. See, a message like this is considered evil. What's his problem? I don't have a problem. Well, I do have one problem that many will say. They'll probably say, well, he has a truth problem because he continues to want to push this truth out here that we don't want to hear. And we wish he would just shut up. Well, you know what? For those of you out there, I'm glad I have that problem. And may Yah take my Rahuk away from me and kill me on my spot the day I shut my mouth about it. The day I decide to tell you lies, warm, fuzzy lies, tickling your ears, and then stand on the side and watch you die. Watch your soul be condemned, the soul of our children be condemned, because no man of Yah will stand up and be a man and call out this wickedness. So I'm going to call it out. I'm going to call it out. So for you sisters who want to hear a man call out, you want a man, you say, I would like to see a man step up and be a man. Well, you're looking at a man, stepping up and being a man. And he don't want you sexually. He wants your soul to be right before Yah. He wants to save our family. He wants to save our children. I'm talking about bringing forth Yah's truth. I don't have salvation in me. I have a message in me that can lead us. I can be a torch so our children can walk through the Red Sea, for lack of a better word. No different than Moses and some of our other leaders did. That's what I mean by bringing us out of harm, leading us out of harm back to Yah. Let me be clear. But this is what it's come to. And this is prophesied. This is prophesied that Satan would use our women as whores and tramps. And that our women would rule over the men, while our men would be afraid to speak the truth to these women for fear that they will be denied something, pretty much sex. And that's the infeminization of the men. And men, you are judged for that with your weak asses. So you will sell your soul like Esau for a bowl of soup, for sexual access. That's called mental weakness, spiritual condemnation. It's called the judgment of hell awaits you. Yah said that my people, if my people would hear my voice, and come away from their sins, he said, then I would heal their land. But what are we doing? We're encouraging it by glorification of it and not speaking against it. And let me give you just a little bit of book here. There's this women rulership and these men acting like emotional, sissified, won't take a stand for nothing. That is your curse. It is our curse, you sisters. You think that ruling over a man now and giving you authority over a man, you think that's a blessing? Let me tell you what Yah said about it. And then you make your own decision at the end of the day, if you're greater than Yah. He goes, and this is Isaiah chapter 3. I'm going to start reading at verse 12. Verse 10. Say to the righteous, and that's what I'm saying. I'm talking to the righteous amongst you. Say to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for he shall eat the fruit of their doings. We reap what we sow. But woe unto the wicked, because they're going to eat what they're sowing. It shall be as illness will be with them. For the reward of their hands shall be given to them. In other words, they're going to reap what they sow. As for my people, children shall be their oppressors. Look how children have us afraid to walk in the street. We can see our own children, talking about the young men, young women, and are afraid of them. Oppressed by our own children. That is the curse and the judgment because of wickedness. And no one speaking against it and standing up against it. He said, Yahuwah will enter. He said, for as my people, children are the oppressors, and women will rule over them. O my people, they which led you to cause you to err and to destroy the way of your past. Hollywood, these entertainers, rap, and all these things that are promoting these anti-Yah agendas, homosexuality, pro-choice, transgenderism, whoredom. No whoremonger or whore is going to enter to the kingdom of Yah. None. Nor fornicators, nor adulterers. All those who love the abominable things. And he goes on to say here. He said, for women will rule over them. My people, O my people, which they will lead you to cause you to err and destroy the way of your paths. Yahuwah stands up to plead and stands to judge the people. Yahuwah will enter to judgment with the ancients of his people, our elders, and the princes thereof, our leaders. For you shall be eaten up in the vineyard, and the spoil of the poor is in your house. That's why we don't have shit. He said, the spoils of the poor means you're going to stay in perpetual poverty, and you're going to have to be beggars. You're going to have to be borrowers. Because of this kind of abominable debauchery that you saw the other night, and it was glorified amongst our people and ridiculed around the world. Oh, they giggled and laughed and applauded, but they applauded to the destruction of your own people. And for that reason, sisters, you should be the ones crying aloud and not sparing these wicked ass women and your daughters out there, of Zion, who are glorifying these kind of acts and behaviors. And you brothers, you men of Israel, you too, you should be turning your head, looking the other way, and speaking out against that type of wickedness. Because until we do, we are going to stay the target of our oppressors. We're going to stay in poverty, and Yah is going to destroy us. That's his word. Praise Yah. DFG. Talk to you later.